So what's the big deal with Ascent protein? Why do they say they have elite protein at its purest? Well, unlike a lot of the big name protein companies, Ascent actually makes their own whey and casein by buying milk and filtering it at their own facilities. It's a pretty interesting angle they've got in the market, and this here is their Micellar casein protein powder. So here we're going to talk about the nutrition, the ingredients, the price, and some of the pros and cons so you can make up your own mind as to whether this is worth the extra price and whether it really is one of the best proteins on the market. So first off, let's try this chocolate peanut butter flavor with some water. Now, a lot of people like to make casein puddings with their protein powder. I just made a regular shake here. I mix 1 scoop with 10 to 12 ounces of water. Now, I need to emphasize this is naturally flavored and naturally sweetened. There's no like sucralose, acesulfame, potassium, other sweeteners going on here. Normally that works in the favor of a chocolate peanut butter flavored shake because they add in actual peanuts and actual cocoa, which is what they've done at Ascent. The second ingredient here after the casein itself is actual peanuts. They went a little light on the sweeteners though. So the sweeteners here, they do have a kind of a wide range here. There's stevia leaf extract and monk fruit extract, as well as some sea salt and natural flavors. You can taste the peanuts, you can taste the cocoa, but it's not especially sweet. So I gotta say, it reminded me of like Cocoa Puffs in a bowl of water instead of milk. So it's fine, it went down pretty well. It's like pretty earthy. It almost tastes a little bit like coffee, but I definitely would prefer this with some milk instead of water. All right, but how much protein are you getting in this protein powder? 25 grams per scoop, pretty decent amount there. You're getting 6 grams of carbohydrates though, which is relatively high for a casein protein powder, although there's no sugar whatsoever, which is pretty impressive, and an extra gram of fiber, which is pretty cool. There's 1.5 grams of fat, half a gram of saturated fat. That all comes out to 140 calories per scoop. There's not much to talk about with the micronutrients. There's very little iron and potassium, like 6% of the daily intake. But like most casein protein powders, this is extraordinarily high in calcium with 45% of daily intake. So it almost kind of doubles the calcium supplement. Now as for the ingredients, the first one of course is Micellar casein. Casein, by the way, is just the other protein in milk that isn't whey. Milk is like 20% whey, 80% casein in the protein portion, and it digests more slowly, so it's quite a bit more filling as well. After the casein, you get the peanuts, you get some cocoa, some natural flavors, a blend of gums that work to like act as thickeners and stabilizers. So that's guar gum, acacia gum, and xanthan gum. Some sea salt, some sunflower lecithin that helps with mixability, and some monk fruit extract and stevia leaf extract for sweeteners. So again, worth emphasizing, nothing artificial here. There's also no soy, which a lot of people are going to be happy about. The gums, potentially in some people, they can cause like indigestion, but it's a very small minority of the population, and you probably already know if that's going to cause you upset. So for most people, it should digest relatively well, especially given there's no sugar in here, so it's got to be pretty low in lactose. So as far as the price goes, 1 sack like this is going to cost you between $35 and $45 for 24 servings. So that's going to cost about $1.60 to $1.70 per scoop, or about 6.9-ish cents per gram of protein. Casein in general is more expensive than whey because you can use casein to make cheese, and whey is sort of like a byproduct of that. So normally, I mean, a lot of the bigger brands, their casein is between 5 and 6 cents per gram of protein. This is ever so slightly more than that, but not dramatically so, and especially for something that has like, you know, no artificial ingredients, it doesn't have any soy, things like that, I think it's a pretty fair price. So why should you consider getting a bag of Ascent casein? Well, I mean, it has a really high amount of calcium here, and it digests more slowly, so a lot of people like to take it before bed. But I mean, that's the same for all casein protein powder. What helps this stand out in the market is the fact that it is all natural. There are no artificial flavors, no artificial sweeteners. There's no soy, there's no gluten, and also the dairy is rBGH free, which a lot of people are gonna be happy about. It's also tested by Informed Sport, and they test for like banned substances and impurities and that sort of thing. So for competitive athletes, or you know, even your average person, that could bring about some peace of mind if you're worried about tainted supplements. There are a few potential downsides with this product. By and large, I'm pretty impressed with how few allergens appear to be present or like may be present in the product. Like there are no warnings about, you know, shellfish or wheat, that kind of thing. It is certified gluten-free. It does, however, of course, contain milk and also peanuts, and also it's made on equipment that processes tree nuts. So if you have very sensitive allergies in that respect, you know, that could give you pause. The taste, it is all natural. It also tastes all natural. Like it's not super sweet. Like I do prefer like, you know, artificially flavored chocolate peanut butter flavors myself. But you know, of course, if you prefer to stay away from artificial sweetness, that's definitely going to be an upside for you. For me, yeah, you know, the taste, it's a little bit bland, but still relatively enjoyable. It is relatively high in carbohydrates for a casein protein powder. You're getting 6 grams of carbohydrates for every 25 grams of protein. But you know, there is no sugar, which I think is pretty cool, and you get a gram of fiber. And then finally, I wanted to mention that it is a teeny tiny bit pricey relative to other big name brands. Now, Ascent simply isn't that big, and they make all their own whey and casein in-house. So like, I get it, but I mean, it's about 7 cents per gram of protein. A lot of the bigger brands are between 5 and 6 cents. So, you know, if you're really trying to save some cash, that might give you something to think about. All right, so those are my thoughts on the Native Fuel Micellar casein that Ascent sent us. If you want to see the full written review, it's in the description below, and make sure you subscribe. We've got a whole lot more supplement reviews and exercise guides and other sorts of content coming up.